Comparison is a kleptomaniac. It can steal everything from you. It takes your most prized possessions, your worth, joy, and peace. When we see someone else's win, it's our pockets that it takes from, leaving us feeling empty and unaccomplished. And we feel comparison doesn't take from the other person, the achiever. They keep their success. It only robs us. It will steal from us when we don't even realize. As we scroll social media, converse with a friend, or look at our surroundings, the only way to stop it is to catch it in the act. Pause, notice what it's trying to take, and take it back. Take back your value, happiness, and ability to celebrate yourself. Hi, and welcome to my creative corner. I'm Vicky Desem, artist, writer, and all-around creative. I will continue to work on art for my art book as I talk about comparison, how it steals from us, and more importantly, how to stop and overcome it to appreciate your success and progress. Comparison filters the way we view life. We wear rose-colored glasses and take a perception of someone else's reality that is presented to us, and we convince ourselves that it is fact. We only see what others allow us to see. Usually, it's their highlights, what an ideal life is, but many hide their struggles, doubts, and failures. By others doing so, we lose our ability to see our progress clearly. We know what positives and negatives we have, but when we hold it up to only the positives of someone else, our perceptions of ourselves get skewed. It can also warp our sense of time. We are convinced success has a single and definitive deadline. If we haven't reached it when someone else does, we failed. But life is different for every one of us. We can't race against clocks that aren't timing us. We have our own deadlines, milestones, and progress. We can't trade appreciation for impatience, or we will never see how far we come. Comparison's greatest heist is stealing our vision. Comparison will convince us of a lot of things, that we are all on one track in life. From our perspective, whoever crosses the finish line is more worthy and valuable. When someone, especially someone we know, hits a milestone before us, we feel like we are the tortoise up against the hare. When we buy into this lie, we put ourselves on an endless treadmill, running harder, trying to prove we're enough by what we produce. But the cost is heavy: burnout, self-doubt, and the inability to accept our progress. Comparison convinces us that our worth is tied to our productivity or pace. But surprise, surprise, this is all but true. There is no single race. We have our own starting and finish lines and different obstacles. Still, comparison feeds the lie that faster is better, and we forget that growth is still growth, no matter how slow. It's not about beating the hare, it's about finishing our own race. When we compare, we shift the focus away from what we already have and shine a light on what we think is missing. Gratitude thrives when we count our blessings, the progress we've made, the people who support us, the opportunities we are given. However, comparison is like a blindfold over gratitude. It doesn't erase the good, it keeps us from seeing it. We can't get stuck in a state of longing, constantly scanning for what we don't have. We have to remove the blindfold to see the joy and value in ourselves that we miss when we compare. That's why comparison feels heavy. It's not just a minor annoyance. It weighs on our vision, creativity, and happiness. It tells us a story that isn't true, that we're behind, that we're less than, that we don't measure up. But the good news is, once we see the life for what it is, we can start shifting our focus back to what's real, our own unique progress. We have to rewire our brains and reframe the way we see comparison. Try this simple mental shift when comparing your timeline to someone else or scrolling on social media. Instead of saying, they're ahead of me, say, they're proof that it's possible. When I started to feel that I can make art my career and pursue my creative dreams, I knew it was possible because I had seen so many others achieve it. Even small creators were successful. Anything is possible with hard work and optimism. Think about that. If I see an artist publishing their first book, selling their art, or reaching a milestone that I dream of, that doesn't mean I failed, it's a signpost. It's evidence that what I want is achievable because someone is already doing it. Rather than proof I'm behind, it's proof that the path exists. When you shift from envy to inspiration, from measuring to learning, comparison becomes lighter. It transforms from a weight to a window. Instead of making you feel small, it can help you see possibilities. You must start comparing yourself to yourself instead of other people. See the growth from who you were a year ago. How has it changed the way you handle stress and setbacks? Even if you start standing up for yourself, that's growth. You are the deciding factor in whether you will progress in life. You will never leave your timeline and must let go of others. And let me tell you, your best competition is not the person on the other side of the screen. It's the past version of you. Every day you grow a little, even if you don't see it yet. And when you measure yourself against that standard, you'll realize you're not behind, you're becoming. One of the most powerful ways to celebrate progress is to keep a wins journal. This doesn't have to be fancy, just a notebook or even a notes app on your phone where you jot down things you've done each week, and I mean everything. Got out of bed on a day that felt heavy? That's a win. Completed a task you've been avoiding? Win. Took one step towards a goal, no matter how small? Write it down. Over time, this journal proves that you're moving forward, even when it feels like you're standing still. On the days when comparison whispers you're not enough, you can flip back to those pages and see clear as day how much you've accomplished. Another way to reframe comparison is by creating visual proof of your progress. This could be snapping photos of your art at different stages, tracking workouts, or even keeping old writing drafts. We often forget how far we come because we're too close to our journey. Having visual evidence makes it impossible to ignore the growth. You can literally see the difference between where you started and where you are now. And that shift in perspective turns self doubt into self appreciation. Instead of saying, I'm not there yet, you start saying, look how far I've come. The last big step is learning to limit the triggers that fuel comparison in the first place. This isn't about avoiding people or pretending the world doesn't exist, it's about protecting your peace. If scrolling certain accounts makes you feel behind, mute them. Step back for a while if being in certain spaces drains your confidence. Your mental health matters more than staying plugged into everything. By curating what you allow into your daily life, you're creating more space for gratitude and celebration. And that choice, to protect your focus, isn't selfish, it's self respect. Check out my free gratitude journal worksheet in my bio. I've curated it to start you on the path towards positive thinking. Be sure to leave anything you might want me to discuss in the comments to help you achieve a more positive mindset and guide you on the road to happiness. So here's the truth. Comparison will always try to creep in, but you don't have to let it steal from you. You are not behind, you are not less than. Your story is unfolding at its own pace in its own way, and that's precisely how it's meant to be. Instead of measuring your life against someone else's, measure it against who you were yesterday. Learn to cheer for yourself instead of waiting for someone else to applaud you. Because every step you've taken, every hurdle you face, and every small victory along the way, that's worth celebrating.